Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and Doc and I are home from Capclave in Rockville, Maryland. Catechus is a little wound up. He really A wanted to play, B his feel away thing needs refilling, and C he wants gushy food 20 minutes ago. He thinks he deserves it the second I walk in the door, and he does not, in fact, deserve it the second I walk in the door, because he should be happy to see me, not just demand gushy food. So,
Foolish king.
right? I was this close to falling asleep, so you're lucky I'm here and not taking a nap.
We did give you
So
the option of canceling the stream because it was going to be a full weekend. And,
I
uh,
know, I know. So yeah, Sako will
oh,
be joining us, when she finishes up dinner. So she is at, StokerCon? I don't know. She's at some convention, and it's horror related, and it's in, like, Florida or something.
yeah.
So
She's down south playing in the hurricane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think where she was lost power, so that was good.
Yeah. No, but it's definitely been something else in terms of some of the areas that have been hit. And
Oh, devastating. So, I'm glad everybody here
less,
probably has power and is doing okay, and I hope anyone who is missing is, just dealing with power outages and not dealing with anything heavier than that.
yeah.
So, let me pop into the comments real quick, and then I'll let Doc talk. Sorry. John says, "Hi." He looked around. He said, "Sako is at Necronomicon." Jen, hello. Jen says, "My cat got me up at, like, 1 last night, knocking over a giant bottle of conditioner on the bathroom floor." Cora is here. Hello. Cora's working on book editing today. Nikki is here. Hi. Hiya.
Hey.
And Nikki is a complete disaster today. Happy to have company now. So Doc, how are you? Besides your
I'm doing,
knees saying, "Read between the lines."
yeah, yeah. My knees definitely were doing that this morning. Um,
Mm.
and my back's hurting a little bit, but I did have a good cap clave despite kind of pushing my limits a little bit much. But so
Do you know if there was anything you could have done to not push your limits as hard?
uh that's a good question. Potentially not try to go to as many things or stay up as late. Um and it's also, I mean, I made the effort to try to get around just using my cane this weekend, and there were a few times where I ended up standing a bit too long, um, and there were also a few times when it's the seating that the hotel provided were too short. So that was painful on my knees while seated and painful getting back up.
Oh, dear.
And especially for the mass signing ceremonial event on Saturday
Mhm.
evening, those seats were like way too short. So I think next year I'm actually going to try to bring my own folding chair for that. So I've got something that gives me proper support and puts me at a better height. Um,
Sure,
but
sure. How did your panels and events go that you were there for?
the my panels were all good. Um,
Yay.
let's see. I mean, I moderated two panels on Friday. Um, they were so you want to be a writer. And that one went really well. We had lots of good discussion, although we did have a panelist whose cadence of speech was a little slow, and we really pushed the edge there because I wanted to get in some audience questions. But it was a brilliant panel otherwise, other than being a bit long. And the one I had right after that was about dealing with skills of the apocalypse, and it was like the opposite because everyone was speaking fast and to the point, and it's like I'm gonna get through all these questions and still have time. So I just went to the audience instead, but that was it was a lot of interesting things. I mean, we were about to turn ravaging hordes into a drinking game. It's like every time somebody says ravaging horde, you drink. uh, uh, and then we actually stopped and discussed it and realized that in the apocalypse, the chances of having uh, uh, ravaging hordes around the countryside, yeah, they're not going to last very long. Um, they're just too many diminishing returns from it. But um, and I did really well with my author signing and with the mass signing. I actually did better just on Saturday than I did the whole weekend at Cap Clave last year. So we're everyone was noticing there were definitely more new people, and that they were all like excited and happy to be there and had money to spend. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I was talking to some other people at other tables, and they're like, it's double what they got in last year, and they more than made table. For those who are unfamiliar, a lot of times vendors at conventions, they pay for, the panel or the table space in the vendor room and that sort of thing. So a lot of people are trying to at least break even, and then, once you've
yeah,
made table, then everything's gravy.
yeah. And
So
my other panel on Saturday was no, make it a series. Uh, Talking about writing big, and that went interesting because we not only talked about uh, some of the big Chihuahua killer series that kind of go on forever, but also brought up uh, things like the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which were a series, but they were all short stories, and some of the different aspects about what are you going to do if what can you do by making your story a series that you can't do with a standalone. That was a very good panel.
nice, nice. So,
How was your
um,
weekend?
I think I'll talk about mine on the next break. So we
Okay.
can get some sprints in and, spread out the chatter a little. Popping into the comments, Heather made it. Hello. Nikki says, so you want to be a writer, and it should be followed up with a session of what's the
What's
matter
the
with you?
matter with you?
Heather is actually on their way home from Necronomicon.
Okay.
So how was it? Nikki goes, regarding your apocalypse, Countryside Zombie 1 to CZ2. Do you hear that? What's that? CZ2. Banjos! Run
Run
away!
away.
So, so yeah. I had a really, really good time. I did not get enough sleep last night. But yeah, so uh are you working on anything today or just recovering and catching up on your socials during your stream?
Oh, no. So I believe last time I was on the stream, I was working on a short story for New Anthology, which I turned in the short story. I got edits back.
Mhm.
I've done the revisions and turned those back in, and I've signed the contract for the anthology. Now we just need the Kickstarter to come out, which
Yay!
hopefully will happen sometime this week and get it funded. Um, and we'll all be good to go. But unless they've got further edits, I'm done with that. So I am back to Kindred of Kali and working on those revisions. Uh,
I'm gonna be catching up on my internet that I totally missed, finishing the story that I'm at, like, 90% at that I was reading, and 2 of my Patreon, uh, things that I subscribe to dropped, w in the last half hour, so I'm gonna read those. But yeah, so mostly taking it chill, and I did stop for sandwich fixings on the way home, so I might make a sandwich. So, popping back to the comment, Nikki was like, "Heather, your Instagram pictures were great," and Heather is also yawning widely and is completely beat. So, Nikki needs to know if you got the Twitch followers you needed.
Well, I am still short of my goal for 20 Twitch followers. I'm at 16, so
Ooh, getting
uh,
there.
I'm
Not
I'm
there.
I appreciate all the support folks have shown me, and that I'm moving up. But it's a low bar, and I still haven't met it. Uh, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. And it's just Doc/Coleman, right?
Uh, it's it's uh it's Doc Coleman.
Oh,
All
yes,
one all
yes.
one word, run together.
And the slash is at the end, right? Because it's a URL and
Yep.
slashes go at the end of URLs. Okay. so
Thank you,
so yeah.
Nicole. Hi.
Let me just do a shameless little link drop here for everybody not over there. Boom. So what they're talking about for those who are just coming in is Twitch gets you affiliate status when you have 20 followers and stream for like 8 hours or whatever in a month. So, yeah, yeah. I think it's time for a sprint though. So let me go ahead and
And we
bring
can
up the
tell because the
timer.
cat has decided to occupy my chest. So now I must have both my hands free. Right.
I mean, obviously. Yeah. Yawn.
Hello, pretty girl.
Oh, that's
Is there a problem?
no, I just forgot that at some point I had uploaded some slides to StreamYard and I didn't remember that was an option. So so I was like, "Oh, what is this? Where did this come from? I wonder how long that's been there." So oh, Nikki's gonna try and get you 20 by the end of the stream. So hang in there.
Thank you, Nikki. That's very kind of you.
Yes, very much. So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom, chakalaka. Okay, Catechus, I'll get you your gushy food now. And we're back, this time with the Sako! Oh, wow, it's Sako
Ta-da!
beverages.
Straight from Necronomicon.
Ooh.
Yay!
How is it? How are you?
I am tired, and it was an hour and some odd drive from Tampa, but and we drove through some rain, which was exciting. But yeah, it was good. I moderated my first panel.
Ooh.
Really?
Kind
You
of by
hadn't.
surprise because our moderator didn't show up because of the storm.
Sure.
Right, so I kind of like snuck in and moderated the mental health and art appreciation panel, so yay.
Cool.
I joined Blinkerbell with congrats on the moderation. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yay.
Sako. I was told I was more organized than most.
Really?
Apparently, because I took notes before I left.
Mhm.
Right,
Okay.
so that I could actually like partake in the conversation,
Sure.
and it turned out to be the outline for for the panel.
These days, unless they're looking for a lot of book recommendations, I look back at like even 2 years ago, the amount of prep I did before a panel. I would, take a couple notes with all my talking points or whatever. And these days, I'm like, wait, what panel is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Balticon
mhm,
and Imaginarium, no problem.
yeah,
No problem. Don't need notes. But like the mental health and art appreciation thing, I think deserved it. The
Sure.
mythical horses, I think deserved it. And the I want to verb your noun, which is the how to write sex scenes without like losing your mind. I took notes on that, but we talked more about marketing than we did like the process of writing the scene. So um
you never know what you're going to get with a panel.
yeah,
So,
yeah, and considering I'm kind of new on the erotica scene, even though I'm not writing erotica, I'm writing a romance. Um, I felt like the newbie on the scene, so it seemed I was kind of like, why am I here? Yeah.
Was that the panel you were moderating, or was that a different?
No.
Okay.
That was the one I was moderating was the mental health one.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be really tricky. I think my moderating has been getting better, and I've been doing better about trying not to dominate the conversation when it's a panel based on something I have blogged extensively about.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still like, I have some talking points on this one, but what do you think?
I tried to do the same thing.
Yeah. Although, like, if I'm the moderator, if it's 4 or fewer, I feel like I can go ahead and put in input. If it's 5 or more, I'm just asking the questions and maybe doing some clarification or like one little tidbit here and there.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
When I'm moderating a panel, I usually put in my 2 cents, but I let everyone else do theirs first.
sure.
And if I think that they've covered it, then I'll just skip on to the next question.
Yeah, yeah, that's
It really becomes a question of, does my point of view add anything to the
right.
conversation?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the longest I did the closest I got to, like, answering a question when I was asking it before letting other people is like, "Hey, these are the terms I use, and this is how I define them," because writers use all these terms, and none of them mean the same thing. Because I was going over alpha, beta, and readers and
mhm,
critique partners. So, like,
Right, which are all different things. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. So, um, but yeah, so I had a lot of fun, and I think all of my panels went really well. They might not have been the best attended, all of them, but I think the people who did attend got whatever we were trying to get out of them. So, like, my first one, my first and my last panels of the weekend were the 2 I moderated. So
Oh, okay.
before I warmed up and then when I was exhausted. Um, but so the first one was an offline discussion of online events talking about hybrid and virtual events and how they go and, their strengths and weaknesses and that sort of thing.
That's cool.
And then we were talking about talking about blogs and the evolution to podcasting and, YouTube, etcetera. And
Oh, you're great to talk to regarding that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
yes. So I was super excited to be on that one. And, my co-panelists were Nate, who because he's
I
local,
remember Nate. Yeah.
and he does author websites and that sort of thing these days, and he actually sold a website, like, for money. Like,
Yeah.
he uses blogs as money makers, not just hobbies. And,
Well,
J
he made a living off of blogging for a while. It's like,
Yeah,
good God.
yeah. And, JL Gribble, who I was on the Romantasy panel with at Balticon, I'm like, "Do you have more book recommendations?" And we're like, "Well, how do we not follow each other on Facebook?" So we're now Facebook friends,
Okay, cool.
and Goodread friends, so I can see all those book recommendations.
That's
Because I
right
was like,
on.
"What else have I been doing this week?" Kelly Fox dropped a book, Elliot Grayson dropped a book, who like, Willow Dixon dropped a book, and, like, she and, my friend Yakira, who runs programming for Balticon, are like, "How did I not know we were reading the same people?" Um, so
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah.
Oh,
Mhm,
Amy got a hold of me this past week,
okay.
asking me to submit to being the spearhead for bringing LARP back to Balticon.
Oh, that would be awesome
Mm.
if you think you have the bandwidth for it. And
Um,
yeah.
I can do photos
Yeah, yeah.
or
So,
gaming.
but yeah, but
I don't think I can do both.
sure, sure. So if you know anybody else you could bring in to, help subsidize one or the other maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I got to do story time. This one time two of the panelists are actually working on an anthology about con stories. So
Oh,
they're like,
cool.
"That's what we were gonna call it. Where'd they get this from?" But I got to talk about like my first sale and the time I tried to poison myself with nail polish remover before a con and just a couple other and the time I once told my mother, who thinks I might be the reincarnation of her father, "Karen, I am your father." So, a lot of my favorite stories. So it was a lot of fun for me. And then Saturday, I was talking about local clubs, conventions, and events, and someone just reached out to me on Discord asking me, "Hey, my dad said something about a Germantown Writers Club you had mentioned during your panel." So I just link
Oh,
dropped you, Doc. I just link
cool.
dropped you. I promoed you. I promoted Right by the Rails, which is in Manassas. I promoted
Mhm.
Spilled Ink, which is our local open mic night, which on second Fridays is actually on Zoom, so anybody could attend rather than at Girani's on fourth Fridays. Um,
Huh.
a- and I'm like, y'all thought I was on here because of Balticon, and I am, but if you're in Northern Virginia, we got more.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I have a problem, which is why I'm burnt out. And then it was not even on the schedule because they marked it as a special event and not a program item. So it just didn't get on the schedule or the back of anybody's all the tent cards had like people's schedules on the back. I
Yeah.
had to, I had to tell 3 of the 5 people on the panel that it was happening because they didn't know. I'm like, "It's in
Oh,
Zambia," which is like our sign up spot.
mhm.
But it wasn't on the schedule and stuff like that. Um, so in fandom, there's this story called The Eye of Argon, which was super pulpy and written by
Yeah.
a 16-year-old who
Yeah.
had a thesaurus, but like didn't necessarily get connotation. Um, and also was typing on something where deleting was not easy. So there were a lot of typos as well.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
he was basically using a typewriter on mimeograph paper.
yeah,
So is in order to print
sure.
copies of it.
Yeah.
So it's like if he made a mistake, he would have to start all over from scratch, and he just plowed right through it. So
Yeah, yeah. So like there are reasons why, it could use some work. But
That was mentioned this weekend too.
There's a tradition in fandom in some places to like do a midnight reading where each person reads until they mess up or like say a typo correctly or something like that, and then it goes to the next person. And some of the people who did that were like, hey, let's do a spin-off with the further adventures of Grigner the Barbarian. So they put out that anthology last year, and the 3 people I had to tell are the 3 people in the anthology, including the editor, the publisher, and one of the writers. So
That's
I thought
hilarious.
exactly.
It was.
But basically everyone who came are people I harassed into it, and I think they enjoyed themselves thoroughly. So,
Okay, cool.
yeah, the 2 of us who didn't have a story in there, we read from the original, and the ones who are in it read, their own pieces or whatever. So
yeah,
and I was perhaps seat acting with the
yes, she was.
and it was
I
just
was a witness. No.
There was a witness. I don't think it was over the top or presumptuous. So
Oh
it
no.
was.
You were nowhere as bad as what was going on in my brain, because my brain was casting the whole thing as a podcast, and so welcome to the Eye of Argon Radio Theater, and I was just envisioning it with sound effects and people doing background characters and making MST3K type comments,
and with Ian, the editor coming in to be like, I'm sorry, that was turquoise, not turquoise, because of the misspelling, and
But just the idea of the editor butting in to mistake people's corrections.
You're reading it as written, gosh darn it.
Oh, you have to read it as written.
Yes. That's the challenge. Because your eye almost wants to autocorrect.
Always autocorrect.
Yeah. So that was part of the
real
challenge.
autocorrect,
especially those of us who are used to texting people.
Right. Exactly. And then today I got up in time. My hair was dripping wet, so I tossed in a bun and rolled with it. To who you're gonna call. It was about who do you reach out to when you're stuck with something in your plotting or your story that's just not working. And the first thing we did was throw away that premise because there's not one person. You have to establish that relationship. So we talked about where to go for that relationship and stuff like that. And there were a lot of established authors, but as I was a moderator, B, I was like, hey, aspiring writers are probably 90% of our audience. They're not there yet. They don't already have critique partners lined up and stuff. We need to cover the like basics.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's cool.
So I feel like I brought, the aspiring writer view to the established writers. I'm like, there's a reason I'm on this panel, gosh darn it.
I was going to say, that's one of the reasons for finding a writing group and joining it, is because that gives you resources to find someone who at least has more of a clue than you do about how to deal with these things.
One of my tips was poach from writing groups, but keep going. Be like, hey, here's my snippet. Oh, your advice really vibed with me. Can you read the rest? But keep showing up for, the other writers and stuff. Yeah. But like, there's also the difference between critique, people online versus offline, because I like when I share my story with beta readers and critique partners, I don't like to share one copy. Everybody gets a separate copy, because in critique groups, a lot of times one person with a very strong opinion can sway the group without them even really realizing that's what's happening, because the dominant viewpoint really gets pushed. And so that's something. Anyway, you don't need the whole panel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was today. I'm excited about it. So,
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So
yeah, I was there. I was at Necro with Heather Dewey Pettit.
Yeah, Heather was in our chat saying exhausted. It was great, and was driving home, I think.
Oh, very likely. Yeah.
So what do y'all say about another sprint? Oh, wait, let me pop to the comment. Hello, King Red Spy, Red X. Good to see you. Blinker Bell is here and has never been to a writing conference.
Oh,
I think you would like it.
Yeah. I don't know where you are. I know I'm super lucky that there are so many within, like, a 2, 3-hour drive from me, which really helps, and, my budget has a little wiggle room in it, which helps as well. So, Jen says, "Jealous? Why am I on this coast? There's West Coast stuff. There's plenty of West Coast stuff.
There's plenty of West Coast stuff. Yeah.
I'm just not involved in those circles because
Oh,
I'm
I
too
got to hang
too
out during the hurricane.
nice."
Sort of. Uh, the house is okay. Like power flickered a little bit, but we
Sure.
kept power.
Mhm.
But town was under 10 feet of water by 8 in the morning
Oh my
Friday.
goodness.
Um, yeah, there are parts of Florida that no longer exist.
Yeah, I've seen some of those pictures posted up over the weekend, and
I think Sako just answered Jen's question.
That's why you're not on this coast, because hurricanes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
well,
I
it's
hope
like the East Coast keeps getting scrubbed off with hurricanes. The West Coast is on fire, and
earthquakes, don't forget the earthquakes.
earthquakes, and yeah.
So, it can be rough. So I hope everyone and their families are safe and,
Not displaced for long.
yeah.
And
Minimally, I want everyone safe. Secondly, I want anyone to, have
a
power back
couple of the
soon.
towns though are looking to rebuild though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's cool.
I I like rebuilding towns if there's a less than 50% chance it's gonna happen again in the next 10 years, you know?
Ah.
Because I want people safe, and I don't wanna, have all their s and it's dangerous for everyone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've
So,
been hearing some of this stuff
Oh,
being
pet rescue has
described
been
as
super cool.
thousand-year floods.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, 1,000-year floods.
When
Yeah.
they're coming less often than 1,000 years, then we might need to change the
I
scale.
thought it was 100, but
There's some
still
different
yet.
I've 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 heard both terms before. I mean, there's also 250-year floods, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's all based on where it is and where the water line is and that kinda thing.
Oh,
All of those things
Asheville looks
exist.
rough right now too. Yeah.
Oh, no.
North Carolina.
Yeah. Popping into the comments, Dwan waves. Jen
Hi,
agrees that
Dwan.
why she's
Yeah,
not on
true
the coast.
facts.
Jen goes, "Earthquakes aren't bad for me. I have only felt a couple of them in my entire life, but fires are a different story. Those are everywhere, but I've been safe so far." Knock on wood.
stay safe.
Stay safe.
So,
We can do another sprint?
yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah. I think so. Oh, it's Sunday. You're doing your Substack, or are you just recovering and catching up on your
I'm
socials?
gonna try and write as much as I can while it's fresh on the brain,
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
and maybe finish it by tomorrow or Tuesday? Question mark.
Sure.
We'll see how much I write in an hour.
Sounds good. Okay. Then let me go ahead and find that timer and we'll get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom. And we're back. How was your sprint?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm finished one scene, and I'm about three quarters of the way through a chapter. So I'm making progress. I think I can at least knock out a chapter today. So
Yay.
Is Morgan muted?
no, I can hear her. You can't hear her?
Sorry.
Cannot. I don't know. Say something again.
Something again.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all. Maybe I should exit and come back in.
Sorry. I know it's been wiggly for you.
I don't know. I can hear her fine.
Like I said, maybe I should.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you in a
I'll
minute.
be back.
We'll be right here.
Tell her we'll see her in a minute. Or not. Okay.
I will not do that. Because she'll be right back.
Yeah. So I read 1.5 of the Patreon stories I was going to. I checked my notifications and cleared them out and stayed conscious. Oh, I made a ham and cheese sandwich. Wait, was that last sprint? I don't know. There was a ham and cheese sandwich and it was delicious. And I put it in my face and ate it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a quality thing to do with ham and cheese sandwiches. Eat them.
I guess.
Can you hear me now?
I can. And
Doc?
I heard the weirdest thing when something about ham and cheese sandwiches.
Oh yeah, that was my snack.
She was putting them in her face. No.
Right. Because that's where they should go. I don't know where else you would want to put them.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So, how was your sprint?
I decided to. My phone was dying, so I'm charging it.
Sure.
And I can't tab out to work on things, or else it'll mess with my StreamYard.
That's weird. But
well, I'm not on my laptop. I'm on my iPad.
Mm-hmm.
That
So
makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm writing my stuff on my phone, which is in airplane mode, but I'm writing it in notes.
Gotcha.
So I can cut and paste it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try and be productive, but we'll see how that shakes out.
Okay.
That's super frustrating, and that's 98% of the reason that I don't use OBS and instead use StreamYard, because I couldn't do anything while zooming on OBS. Nothing would load.
Oh, Zoom plus OBS?
OBS. That's what shut down my laptop. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think
Zoom was
so.
fine. OBS by itself was fine. Zoom through OBS was a nightmare. This was like, when I first started streaming back in 2020, but maybe they've made updates since then. I'm not going to talk to the technology now.
Yeah, I think they have, but I don't know that they're good enough for what you wanted to do. But
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to experiment with some of that stuff if I can figure out, like when I'm doing games, if I can actually like stream games from my PC, but do controls from my Mac laptop and
either with OBS or with StreamYard.
Yeah, something like that. I just gotta figure out the logic, and if it means I'm gonna have to get another a separate camera for the PC.
Oh. I mean,
I don't know. I just don't have time to mess with this stuff right now.
Yeah, for now, maybe don't worry about it. Yeah,
it's ideas. It's percolating. I'll learn little things here and there. Maybe try some stuff. But
so I'm wrapping up my 13th week.
Yay!
Which I do the 12-week year. Blah blah blah, and it's this past week was my 13th week. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll review my quarter and then prepare for my next quarter, and all that starts tomorrow. So
that would be the time for it.
yeah. So I've been working on art and also my gaming channel. Like tabletop RPG etiquette things.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working on scripts and reformatting them for YouTube and inking 31 pieces of old art for Drawloween next month.
Nice.
So I've got 9 more pieces to go, and hopefully I can do that over the next week.
Sure.
That's my goal.
Yay. Okay. So let me pop into the comments to say hi to Tessa. Hello and
Tessa.
welcome. Cora's still trying to add edits in the computer, but the kids are slowing it down.
Yeah, I get it.
So
Pedal faster.
right. Dwan snuck back in. Tessa is now done cleaning up old blogs. Yay. And after writing prompts, we'll be back to the memoir.
Nice.
So, and Dwan says he gets one more off day from fictional writing and he'll be spending it editing.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Editing never ends. I now want a parody of High School Never Ends with editing never ends.
So last Sunday, of course, I was at the Renaissance Festival, so I missed streaming, but I wanted to show you something that I picked up.
Oh, pretty.
A Goodly Woods shot glass.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
I would carry that with me everywhere.
Bring me liquor. I have a shot glass. No.
I have one that is made from horn, with a wooden base, and it makes a pretty decent shot glass that I can take with me to like metal festivals and Balticon and stuff like that. So yeah, I like it for parties and
nice
tasting and things like that.
Speaking of parties, if me hosting room parties is too much, let me know. Use your words. Okay.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Actually, there were people at Necro who were at Imaginarium and were like, "Hey, how's it going? I was at your room party at Imaginarium." I was like, "Well, good to see you again."
So it is our joint party, but really Sako just mostly lets me do the thing and doesn't complain when it lasts till 4 a.m. and there's a lot of people in our room.
Yeah.
So, popping into comments, Dwan says, "Oh, the editing is video editing because he recorded a nearly 4-hour podcast episode."
Yeah.
Please tell me you're releasing that as multiple episodes.
Yes, I believe he intends to.
I learned the joy of episodic posts when they start getting really long.
I'm doing the same thing. Instead of one long video, I'm just splitting it up.
But it has to happen organically.
Yeah. But I've known some people that have done like 3-hour long episodes and dumped it as one episode, and it's like, no, nobody wants to listen to this.
I'll make a playlist if they want to binge it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I noticed that people tend to watch my stuff about 2 minutes in.
And
then bail.
And then bail. So I make my videos 2 minutes long.
Okay.
And my watch time improves. So yeah, I'm kind of like chopping stuff up so that I can stay within the rough time limit that I
Sure.
want,
Mhm.
because I want these to be pretty short,
Yeah.
and that way, and there's enough content that I can split it up into shorts.
Sure. Nice.
So I'm trying to appease the algorithm.
I hear that.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see
Okay.
how it goes.
Nice.
So I'm intending on doing less lives, more content
Okay.
on that account, on my other Sako to me account.
Sure.
So we'll see how it goes. It's been forever since I've tried to film it.
Mhm.
I filmed like 4 episodes and uploaded them to my channel, and then I was like, "This is no bueno. Uh, let's try this again." And so I'm re-scripting, and I will actually like be dressed up for video things, and hopefully I can like batch record. That would be ideal. So we'll see. I also
I've
intend on doing Vlogtober.
okay. I've personally found that batching shorts is easy. Longer stuff is maybe not as easy.
Yeah, I got
So,
you.
yeah. Um well, more like having that much material ready at once, you know.
Mhm.
So, Blinker Bell was like, I missed the sprint ending, but I got through 2 more chapters of this read through.
Excellent.
Nice.
Nice. So, what's everybody's sprint snack been? I mean, we already talked about my ham and cheese sandwich.
I have
I've been
I
doing
have
popcorn.
snacks, but I haven't eaten them.
Yeah.
There's tons of snacks.
Okay. You came
The
from
other
dinner though,
night,
right?
huh?
You came from dinner though?
I
Or
did. I did
yeah.
come from dinner.
Yeah.
I had Portillo's of all things. There is a Portillo's in Tampa,
Okay.
like the Chicago staple.
Not
So
familiar with it.
that was, and I got my spicy chicken sandwich by God.
Nice.
Uh,
Okay.
I yesterday I tried to order a spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes. I went through 3 drivers, and then they canceled my order and refunded me.
Hmm.
So no spicy chicken for me. I went to the hotel restaurant.
Mhm.
Turned out they had lunch, and I had the fried chicken sandwich, which was, uh, like. So I finally had a chicken sandwich that was worth having at Portillo's, and a massive beer, which I needed after this weekend.
I hear that.
Yeah. Um, it was challenging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what do y'all say about another sprint?
One more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. Okay. Wait, I
Although
have a tab. Mhm.
Dewan asked whether my popcorn was regular buttered popcorn, caramel popcorn, or
Uh,
what, and it's like it's basically butter flavored popcorn. I didn't
sure.
add any butter to it, but it's already got the flavor in it.
Sure.
And
'Cause a lot of times you also toss in, like, you know, nuts or M&Ms or something in mix, don't you? Or is that somebody
um,
else?
usually when I'm doing Chex Mix, I'll throw extra
Oh,
M&Ms in.
sure. Okay,
Although I think I may have done that a couple times with the popcorn, but
sure. I
normally I like.
mentioned that, and my roommate who has popcorn for, like, breakfast every day because, it's quick and easy and doesn't upset her stomach,
Okay.
um, was like, "What are you talking about? Who does that? I didn't know that was a thing." And I was like, "What where have you wait, I thought everybody knew about mix-ins for popcorn."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually not one for mixing sweets into popcorn. I like my popcorn to be a bit more savory, but eh.
I
I
mean,
like having the savory in with the sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sweet and salty combo girl, so, that's why what's that flavor of popcorn? You're letting me down here.
Kettle?
Kettle corn, that's why I'm a huge kettle corn fan.
See, I don't like
I
kettle
love
corn
kettle
because
corn.
it's too
Yeah.
sweet for me, but I like caramel corn, so go figure.
Yeah, that gets stuck in your teeth while being equally sweet, so you're just wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. So,
I
okay,
have a right to my own flavor of wrong.
you do. Anyway, let's go ahead and sprint before we run out of time. I think we're gonna already be nudging a little
Over.
over.
Yeah.
So, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Right.
I finished my chapter.
Yay!
Hey.
I'm almost done with my chapter.
Ooh.
I made some iced coffee and wrote furiously on my phone. So here I am.
Awesome. So, I started writing up a con report. What?
Yeah, me too.
I haven't done that since before Balticon. So I didn't do Balticon. I didn't do Imaginarium.
I can't blame you. I don't normally do con wrap ups either, but I'm doing
Haven't
one
vlogged
now
since
while
then.
it's still fresh.
Sure.
You know, because
Yeah.
like I had a panel today.
Yeah. So, thank you, Nikki, for I'm at $6.99 on YouTube. If I get
Oh,
another subscriber, it hasn't gone through yet, but thank you, whoever you are, and I'm sure it'll register and they'll notify me soon. She wants to know where you, Doc, on Twitch.
I'm still short of 20. I just have 18.
So
But
close, though. So
that's still
close.
up 2, so halfway there.
Trending in the right direction.
Yep.
Oh, I have 555.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Twitch
I
or on
want to do a
YouTube?
Kiraban. I want to do an old school style Kiraban, which is like a celebration of a milestone.
Sure.
And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do, but it'll be an art party for sure.
Nice. That's
And
pretty
we'll
cool.
talk about books.
Yeah.
And do art.
Nikki's like, I'm trying hard. Okay. I'm doing
Oh
what I
no,
can.
I appreciate your efforts, Nikki. I do.
So, let's see. Popping back just before we got into the sprint, Blinkerbell was admitting she eats chocolate alongside hot popcorn but doesn't mix them.
Mhm.
And like all right thinking people do, really enjoys kettle corn and caramel corn and corn on the cob.
Yes, all of
See,
those things.
I just realized when we went into that last sprint, it's like I also like zebra corn, which
What's
is the popcorn that's been drizzled with chocolate.
Oh.
But for some reason, I just don't like kettle corn. I don't
I
know.
mean, you can be wrong. It's okay. Just,
No, he does.
you
It's
know,
not that he's
there may be
wrong.
some
Let people
other
enjoy
factor.
things. Let people enjoy things.
I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy it. I'm just saying I don't enjoy it.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with enjoying caramel corn over kettle corn.
Sure. So, one thing is usually when I eat caramel corn, it's room temperature, and when I eat kettle corn, it's straight out of the microwave. So they're a very different vibe.
Oh, I see.
Because fresh popcorn versus previously caramelized, but not like onions.
I do not. The kettle corn that I eat is usually pre-done
Mhm.
and in a bag. I don't microwave my kettle corn.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have had it like that, but usually if I'm having kettle corn, it's straight from the microwave. So anyway, enough snacks. My dinner's on its way. So let me pop into the comments.
Dinner would be good.
Dwan did nothing that involved a chapter. Cora is still switching over edits to the computer, but is almost done. Oh, Nicole is not Nikki, or are there two Nikkis?
There's
Oh,
two.
yeah.
There's two
Okay.
Nicoles,
Yeah.
and
Sure.
I call Nicole Ford Thomas.
Uh-huh.
I call her Nick,
Okay.
and
I'm gonna
then
forget.
and then Nick Swart.
Swanson.
Yeah, I call her Nikki. Yeah,
Okay. Well, Nikki often signs as Nikki, the
as
comment.
Nikki.
So
Yeah.
that definitely does. But everybody, thank you for coming. All the lurkers, thank you for hanging out. I had a couple people admit to being occasional lurkers or regular lurkers, so it's great to know that I have company on here, even if you don't want to chat, which is totally fine. There's no
Which is totally
obligation.
fine. I know I can't. I watch a lot of streams on my TV,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and I can't comment
Mm-mm.
like when I'm watching it on TV.
Sure.
So I lurk because there's no typey on the.
Because
Sure.
sometimes you want to lurk. Yeah.
You just want the company, you don't want the interaction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm an ambivert. I extrovert until I'm done and then go away.
Yes, me too.
So I think, just like I'm going into my rant again. Just like sexuality is a fluidity thing and can change. I think most people are somewhere on the scale between extrovert and introvert, and some of it's energy level, and some of it is some people do not like talking, where
Mhm.
others are very happy to talk your ear off in a one-on-one or one to 2 or 3
Oh, I
people
know. I
situation.
know a couple of introverts that are very chatty because
Yeah.
they know me well.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So for some of them, it's a comfort level thing, and for some of it's there are plenty of extroverts who don't actually like talking, but do like being around people. So,
Mhm.
it's a whole dynamic that really isn't explored when people are like, "Oh, do you get energy from going out or staying in?" Well, it's more complicated than that. So,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
No, you don't.
So, I talk
You're
when I'm nervous.
fine. You're fine. And when we tell you to shut up, you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So, tell people who you are, where you are, and peace out.
For one, I am called Sako, also known as Cass Voight. And I was a guest at Necronomicon 43, which was the 2024 version of Necronomicon. And I write horror, which works there because it's a horror con. And I wear a lot of hats. So if you want to know what those hats are, then you might want to subscribe to me, where I talk about them a lot on my Substack, psychosako.substack.com, I think it is. And please to be subscribing to me. A new episode should go up tonight. And yeah, the peace out.
Yeah. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay. I'm Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. If you're interested in learning more about me and my books, then go to your favorite search engine and search for Doc Coleman Steampunk. And that will take you to my website at doccoleman.com. It'll also help you find my Amazon author page. And if you are a chatty person and you've got time to watch somebody play No Man's Sky badly on Friday nights, you can join in on my Twitter stream and chat with me
Twitter
then.
or Twitch?
I'm sorry, I did say it wrong. It's my Twitch stream because
Oh, okay.
Twitter is dead.
I will try to subscribe to you.
Sorry.
And also doesn't have streams.
Yeah, it doesn't have stream. Well, actually,
It
does, but
does,
I
but
don't want to get
it's so
into that.
muddy.
So, if you're feeling chatty and you want to watch me play games badly, please, after 9 p.m. Eastern time, tune into my Twitch stream and chat with me and other folks because I'm trying to hit another Twitch milestone, which is to have 5 concurrent chatters on at the same time.
I
So,
can try and do that thing. Are you Doc Coleman on
yes,
Twitch?
it's Twitch. Yeah, twitch.com/Doc Coleman.
Twitch.tv/.
I'm sorry,
Coleman.
twitch.tv. Yeah.
Yep. That's fine. And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips from the pros from conventions like I hit this weekend and my own writerly musings. I've been on hiatus this year because I burnt out and I've been binge reading paranormal gay romances. So if you have any book recommendations, let me know. If not, I still have 10 years worth of content out there. Pretty much anything a developing writer will probably need to know, except for I have not gone through the publishing process. So it stops at the querying, I have something ready to send out there stage for the most part. But yeah. Have a great week. Thank you all for joining us. And don't forget to eat snacks. Catch you